All right, let's get to some 4A scores for you real quick. Lindale and Nacogdoches both in the playoffs, but hey, trying to tune up and get ready to make a little bit of a run. I'll tell you what, Nacogdoches, nobody wants to play the Dragons. Big win at home over the Eagles, 47-28. Like I said, both teams are in. Picked Jacksonville. I thought they were going to end that losing streak, but they go down to Corsicana tonight. Marshall falls to Sulphur Springs, 47-28. And then we've got Pine Tree losing to Mount Pleasant, 49-34. All right, let's check out the Hallsville Bobcats. What a year they've had. Actually flirting with the district championship, taking on Texas High on the road. And what a play by McClellan Wilder hits Travis Thitters there for great yardage, but he's brought down by the 3. This time it's going to be Wilder handing it off and not getting into the end zone. Texas High Tigers hold right there. This was a defensive struggle. Trouble with the snap for Wilder right here for the Bobcats. They lose yardage. They got to settle for this field goal right there. They were up 3-0 at the half, and our final score tells us that Texas High came from behind to get the win district, but Hallsville is heading to the playoffs. All right, with Gilmer and Kilgore and Chapel Hill all in for the 16-3A district playoff setup there, one team still had a shot to get in. One of those teams, the Bullard Panthers, taking on Spring Hill tonight, needing a Henderson loss. We'll check in on Henderson in just a moment. Right now, this is William Baker with a nice run for the Bullard Panthers, but no score. They have to give the ball up, and that was not a good thing because Spring Hill's Garrett Plumley had it going on tonight. That touchdown makes it 7-0. Connor Mebane, one of my favorite quarterbacks in East Texas, going to keep it himself right there. They like that left side, gets good yardage, but once again, no points on the board as Austin Skelton fighting for yards right here, but no points. That would haunt Bullard all game long. And meanwhile, Garrett Plumley just taking off, busting through that Panther defense, Bullard Panther defense that is, and this time on the read option, you can't stop this kid. You can only hope to contain him. Garrett Plumley almost gets in the end zone. He does on the next play, and that's another touchdown for Spring Hill. And tough go for Bullard tonight. They fall 35-7. No playoffs for them. Meanwhile, Henderson at Gladewater tonight. That win for the Lions, and they are in. Zane Bowles. Boys, this kid got a good-looking arm or what? Play action fake, gets his feet set, lets it fly. Janston Taiska, touchdown, Henderson Lions. This time, Janston was going to, this is going to be a kick return by the, was actually a good run by the Bullard Panthers, the Gladewater Bears getting it in, and that was big right there. And after that touchdown, it's going to be a touchdown here for Gladewater, making it a 7-7 ball game. On the kick return, here comes a guy. He's been around Henderson when they were winning state. He's just been a trooper for them. Trey Hollins doing work on the kickoff right there, getting the Henderson Lions in great field position. But this time it's going to be Zane Bowles, maybe just a little bit greedy right here. Pump fakes, goes over to the other side of the field, picked off by the Gladewater Bears. This is Jansen Tyaska. I'm sorry about that. I got his name mixed up. He takes it all the way down for a pick 6. And look at that, Gladewater with the lead, so Henderson had to get something going, and Zane Bowles goes back to the money man for the Henderson Lions. The fade in the back of the end zone, oh, Trey is just automatic. Final score in this one is going to be the Gladewater Bears stunning Henderson. Phil Hicks, thank goodness, will be joining us a little bit later to tell us who gets that last playoff spot from 16-3A. Van and Canton. Canton playing very well right now. Canton trying to get a number 2 seed, but not going to happen. Van gets it done 35-21. Congratulations to the Vandals. Athens wins district with a perfect record over Brownsboro, 56-13. Mineola, congratulations. They get the win and are in 42-28. Pittsburgh and Atlanta. It's going to be Atlanta 49-14. Crandall 31-7 over Quinlan Ford. Fairfield, very good football team, and right there proves it. 54-0 over Palestine, and Mahia 41-6 over West Rusk. Break time right now. More highlights. Troop Tigers had to get in, and we got a monster showdown between Wascom and U Springs. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Trying to get things set up with our guys here. Let's start with the Troop Tigers having to win tonight. Now, their star quarterback, Blake Lynch, he's out with that broken arm, but a must-win home at night tonight, taking on Sabine. Let's get to Tigers Stadium in this one. The dean of East Texas football coaches, the great Dennis Alexander, trying to get his guys fired up in this one. Marquise Davis. I like big, tough, strong guys, and he certainly is one, just tearing down that Sabine Cardinal defense. He gets the touchdown, 7-0 Troop, and you don't see a smile from Dennis Alexander during a game very often, but he likes his big, tough running back there, Marquise Davis. All right, how about, speaking of tough guys, Quaylen Chumley of Sabine. Wow, is that Adrian Peterson I'm looking at? Check out in slow motion him just put his head down and rock right through the Troop Tiger defense. What a play right there. Colin Gray's the quarterback for Sabine. He dives in for the touchdown. Now, I love guys like Colin Gray. He doesn't have time to celebrate because he's got to kick the extra point, and Colin, multi-talented, does so with the PAT. We're tied at 7. All right, Troop will turn it over and back to Colin Gray. Gets a little greedy, intercepted by Marcus Kincaid. What a play for the Troop Tigers. They would fumble, but Sabine would fumble again, so we switch sides, and Brandon Heron, what a beautiful pass to my man Hitachi Lydia. 81 yards on the touchdown. Troop, could they pull it off tonight? They did. 40-30, your final score in this one. Troop needing White Oak to beat Jefferson just to secure everything early on for the Roughnecks. Oh, boy, fake punt by Jefferson. What a play. Big yardage for Jefferson as they would surprise those White Oak Roughnecks right there. But their defense would turn it up quite a bit. You can't stand in that pocket when Trey Chain is running you down. That's a big sack, big loss of yardage. And how many times have we seen Jansen McCurdy and the great Dylan Gale hook up? Kind of a mixed edit right there, but McCurdy, beautiful hands, makes the catch. Almost takes it all the way. He's brought out of bounds, but they're going to move the sticks again as Gale's going to hook up with Gabe Michael right there. And then, how about a little surprise run by Gage Puckett, 25 yards, spinning, turning, touchdown. White Oak, 38-6. They end the season on a high right there. Tatum trying to close out the regular season at 10-0 for another district championship, but the Harmony Eagles were in town. They want to go they're playoff bound as well. J.D. Taylor to Dylan Fields right there. Good job for the yardage right there. Then Taylor's going to hand off to Jalen Shantz. J.D. knows where to get that ball to his Tatum Eagle teammates, but he is brought down by lots of yards. Joe Hill, Rowdy Yardy with the big play for the Sabine, I'm sorry, I'm getting my schools all mixed. Harmony Eagles there, but back comes Taylor. Pass is intercepted by Andrew Means, and then Taylor is going to hand off to Devon Boyd. That is a touchdown for the Tatum Eagles. Good job of running right there, 35-23. Harmony, someone you don't want to mess with in the playoffs right here. How about this? 9-0 Wascom, 9-0 U Springs tonight. District title on the line in this one. First minutes of the game, it's U Spring Mustang. Big run right here by Chris Royal. Breaks it away for the touchdown. Mustangs take the early lead in this one. They go for 2 right here. Boy, they're not afraid to just go for it right here. The Mustangs do. They go for 2 right here. Chad McKinney gets the extra for the 8-point lead, 8-0 that is. Wascom, boy, what a year they've had. Trying to get first down right here. Leaps and bounds right there. What a play. And then Junebug Johnson. I love a guy named Junebug because he can play some football. Touchdown for the Wildcats right there. How would this showdown end up, Scotty? Wascom, how about that? District champs, 56-38 over U Springs. 2A scoreboard. Winona ARP ends the regular season on a high note, 54-21. Frankston 27-12 over West Rusk. Union Grove, boy, Garrison's a really good football club, but Union Grove fighting hard tonight. They're in the playoffs. Congrats to Union Grove, but Garrison wins 35-22. Malakoff 56-8, your final in that one. And then we got Center falling to Jasper 52-14. Lone Oak falling to Eustis 26-22. Westwood falls to Crockett 29-14. New Diana 49-32 over DeKalb. And then New Boston 33-14. Paul Pewitt 55-14 over Elysian Fields. In Class 1A tonight, huge game over in Beckville. The Carlisle Indians and their 4-0 district mark were in town. Beckville right behind them to maybe get a share of the district championship. To the highlights, Beckville we go. Early on, Caleb Colley. Boy, great baseball player, heck of a quarterback too. He's going to find Bryce McCowan, but he is pushed out by Colton Searcy. That's a fumble. Beckville recovers, and then Brandon Wise is going to do some damage for the Bearcats here on offense. He gets it. Going to keep it, actually, Brandon does. Gets the first down. Good job of running right there. And then Wise is going to hand off to Jakari Reed. And the Bearcats are going to try to get on the board first. Jakari, certainly your man to do that right there. Look at the vision right there. Gets in. Beckville touchdown. Caleb Colley, though, is going to go back to his running game. This time to Gustavo Martinez. And Gustavo knows how to run that football as he gets it from Colley. And he is going to take off 60 yards. Gustavo breaking tackles, got the stiff arm left and right up the sidelines. Can he get in for 6? Tripped up at the last minute. How did this one end up? Carlisle, district champs at 5-0, 23-17, your final score in this one. All right, let's bring in Phil Hicks from the Tyler Paper, etfinalscore.com headquarters. Phil, you guys are busy, I know it. Let's get some kind of update on who's in tonight across East Texas. Kind of run down the list for us.
Okay, Eric, we'll do that. I was going to say that those barn burners around East Texas, we could see the flames from downtown Tyler, I tell you. So, but in 16-3A, looks like with Gladewater defeating Henderson, they are going to get into the playoffs because, and it's just, 3 years ago, Henderson won the state title, so that was kind of an upset. And since Spring Hill beat Bullard. And also in another district, Malakoff beat Winsboro, so they get the #1 seed in that district.
All right, Phil, of course, etfinalscore.com, where you guys are pumping out the information on Twitter, on the website, left and right, and have those playoff pairings. Probably by tomorrow, we'll know where teams are playing. Phil, we'll check that out, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
All right, let's get to our final break right now as we will update you on everything that's happened. Final break right now. Don't go anywhere. In case you're just joining us, look at that. White House 55-54. They win the district. Oh, man, what a game right there. Congratulations to the Cats over John Tyler. Gilmer upset by Kilgore 34-29. They win the district as well. Of course, go to etfinalscore.com for all your playoff information. We leave you with our play of the night. Tanner Barr on a quarterback throwback for a touchdown. We'll see you next week.